All right, let's make some money with week 4 of the Big 12 football season here. I'm Pete Mundo. We are Heartland College Sports, and we appreciate you, as always, joining us as a part of this show. Hit the subscribe button. Thank you for doing that. Hit the thumbs up right below the video, and let's get right to it. Every week, I give you a lock, I give you an underdog, and I give you a bad bet of the week. 3 picks out of the Big 12 that I like. And, last week should have been better. Okay. That's the reality. Last week, I looked back and I said to myself, man, we were close on a couple, but they just didn't play out like we thought they would. Didn't come close, I will say, on Oklahoma State Tulsa. I had Tulsa as my underdog, lost that one. I won Cincinnati minus the 3 last week against Miami, Ohio. And then I lost out on West Virginia minus 2 at Pitt because the Mountaineers crap themselves. So unfortunately, 1-2 last week after a 2-1 week the week prior. So let's get right to it. 4-5 on the season. Here we go. I will start off with my underdog of the week in the Big 12 Conference. And I am going to maybe a game a lot of you are going to be overlooking, and that's okay, but I like my odds with this one. Arkansas State plus 21.5 against Iowa State. So first off, this pick is a feel pick as much as anything else. That being said, you look at Arkansas State, they played at Michigan, lost by 10. Now, a lot of those points came late in the fourth quarter. Game was out of reach, but still, that gives them a little mojo, a little momentum going into this game against Iowa State on the road. They hung in there sort of at the Big House. And more importantly, these aren't really games that Iowa State and Matt Campbell blows out the competition in. He's coming off a bye week. Huge game, of course, against Iowa. Is it possible they're a little sluggish, maybe just a little slow? I'm not suggesting they're going to lose this game by any stretch of the imagination. But, these are not games that Matt Campbell typically blows out. These are games he does well in. Usually, he'll win them, but he's not going to win them by 3 touchdowns, traditionally speaking, at least in some of them, right? So I look at this game and I say to myself, Iowa State, huge win a couple of weeks ago off a bye week. Arkansas State, maybe you say they're worn down, but still, they played at Michigan, got a little mojo. Now they're coming up to Iowa State. And I look at Arkansas State, and they have been traditionally, the last couple of years at least, very good against the spread in the opening month of the season. Arkansas State's 13-4-1 against the spread in their last 18 games played in September. That's a darn good number. And on the other side, I saw this for Iowa State. Iowa State's 2-4 in their last 6 games at home on Saturday. So Iowa State has not been the cover machine as of late at home. That, of course, dates back to last season, but still. So I'm looking at this as an opportunity. Arkansas State plus the 21.5. Jump on it if you still got it there. And, let's roll. Let's see how this one plays out. The line has not budged a ton. It opened up at 20. 68% of the bets are on Iowa State. Only 32% of the bets are on Arkansas State, but the line's only moved about a point and a half. So try to get 21.5 if you can. I think there's some bigger money that will come in on Arkansas State late, and we'll push that back under 3 touchdowns. So I would try to grab Arkansas State plus the 21.5 if you can get it when you're watching this video. So that's my underdog of the week. Now for my let me do my bad bet of the week before I give you my lock of the week. All right, let's do that first. My bad bet of the week is Colorado minus 2. Now, what that means is I am on Baylor plus 2. When I say something's a bad bet, what I'm saying is I'm on the other side of that bet. So Colorado minus 2 is my bad bet, meaning I'm on Baylor plus 2. For all the talk about Colorado, let's not forget they have not won a Power 4 conference game since October 7th of last year. That is a dreadful number. And the other thing I'm looking at here is I'm saying, okay, Baylor's defense has come a long way under Dave Aranda. He's running the defense this year. He's in charge. And by the way, he knows that he is on a hot seat and he must win. The defense looks like it's coming along. I think they've got a quarterback decision to make in DeQuan Finn or Sawyer Robertson. I might lean Robertson just based on how he looked last week, try to ride the hot hand. I think that's a smart thing to do. But this is one of those deals where I'm looking at it right now, and I'm saying to myself, I'm not betting any money on Colorado. Baylor is 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games. That does date back to last season, which we understand. And I'm looking at a Colorado team that just has struggled. I mean, we know what happened week 1 against North Dakota State. We know what happened week 2 against Nebraska. Last week was their best game yet, but Colorado State doesn't have much in the trenches. Baylor's going to give them a much tougher time in the trenches, especially on the defensive side of the ball. So I like Baylor in this game. I think Dave Aranda, in large part, knows he needs a win like this to solidify himself as the head coach going forward. I think he will throw some things at that Colorado offense that they maybe haven't seen yet this season that will throw Shedeur Sanders off his game. And not only that, but I also believe that Baylor is going to take control of time of possession. Both these teams have struggled in that category this season. They're both in the bottom third. But that being said, Baylor controlling time of possession does what? Keeps Travis Hunter on the field at cornerback. It gets him tired on that side of the ball, which could slow him down offensively. I believe that's going to be part of the game plan for Baylor in this game. And if they can do that effectively, forget covering the 2 points, Baylor will end up getting an outright win in this game. So my bad bet is Colorado -2. I wouldn't touch it. I'm on the other side with Baylor plus the points. All right. Now I'll give you my lock of the week. My lock of the week might be another game you're potentially overlooking. I don't know. Maybe you're not, but it's not one of the Big 12 games. My lock of the week is TCU -3 against SMU for the Iron Skillet this weekend. That game is going to be a lot of fun, but I believe TCU is going to try to get the stench from that blown loss against UCF out of their mouths, and they are going to come in firing against SMU. TCU was dominating that game last week, and then UCF just wore them out. SMU doesn't have the personnel to do that. They're not going to wear you out. That's not their style. SMU's more well-rested. I understand all that, but I don't care. TCU is going to come in with a chip on its shoulder. They're not going to overlook SMU. SMU's in year 1 in the ACC. TCU is going to want to stick it to them on that front. Yeah, the game's in Dallas. That doesn't bother me one bit. I'm going to take the TCU Horned Frogs minus the 3 points. Let me see if it's down to 2.5 in some places right now. It is. So let's roll with 2.5. So this is interesting. All right. Here's something you got to note on this. 77% of the tickets are on SMU plus the points. But the big money is with me on this because the line opened up at TCU -2. It's now at 2.5 in most places. It's not at 3. But only 23% of the overall bets are on TCU. But the line is moving in that direction. They want you to take SMU, despite the fact that that is where the vast majority of bets are. That tells me there's a lot of big money coming in on TCU. So I'm on TCU in this game. That is my lock of the week at -2.5. And I feel very good about these picks. Went 1-2 last week, 2-1 the week prior, 1-2 in week 1. So we're sitting at 4-5 on the season. I'm feeling 3-0 this week, baby. What do you say? I'm fired up for it. Let's go. But it's going to be a lot of fun. And it's going to be just a crazy weekend of Big 12 football. You know, every Big 12 game, there's 6 of them this weekend. Every Big 12 game, if you didn't see this, is 6.5 points or less on the spread. Every single game is a coin flip. We've got Cincinnati minus 3.5. We've got against Houston, West Virginia minus 2 against Kansas, Texas Tech minus 3 against Arizona State, Oklahoma State minus 2.5 against Utah, Colorado minus 2 against Baylor, and Kansas State minus, it was 6.5. It might be 7 now against BYU. Everybody is a touchdown or less. No one knows what's going to happen in this conference. This is going to be such a nutty year because if you're the home team, it's basically 3 points if you're the home team. So there's a couple of these home teams that are 2 or 3 point favorites. That means the game's a coin flip, and Vegas doesn't really know what to do, which is, to me, going to be par for the course for them in the Big 12. It is going to be nuts, and it's also going to be the most fun conference to bet, hands down, and that is a telltale sign of what's to come in this league. I will add to that and say a game that I am not touching is Oklahoma State, Utah. So this game opened up Oklahoma State minus 2. It flipped to Utah minus 2, 4-point switch. Now, Wednesday night in the Thursday, it flipped back to Oklahoma State minus 2. So I don't know if somebody knows something about Cam Rising. Is he injured? Why would it flip 4 points back from Utah minus 2 to Oklahoma State minus 2? That's crazy. I don't know what that's all about, but someone or somebody's knows something to move that spread 4 points back to where it was on a Wednesday night into the early morning hours on a Thursday. That is a sign that maybe Cam Rising's not 100%. Maybe he's not going to play. I don't know. But it is very rare that you see that kind of movement on a spread Wednesday and the Thursday of game week after the spread already moved 4 points in the other direction. So I'm staying away from that one. I'm not going near it. I'm going to enjoy watching it. It's going to be on Fox, but I am not going anywhere near that game. That is moving all over the place. And Robert noted this on the show. He said Oklahoma State, Utah is moving all over the place. So it is. That would be my bad bet. Well, the bad bet is more about which side you don't want to be on with a game. So it's a little bit different in terms of how I do the bad bet, but I see what you're saying. I do. I'm Pete Mundo. We're Heartland College Sports. Thank you for being here. So once again, to recap and reiterate, I've got Arkansas State plus 21.5 against Iowa State. That is my underdog of the week. My bad bet, Colorado minus 2 against Baylor. I'm on Baylor plus the 2. And then my lock of the week is going to be TCU minus the 2.5 against SMU for the Iron Skillet. I'm Pete Mundo. Hey, subscribe if you haven't yet. I know there are thousands of you who have not. Subscribe to the channel. It helps us tremendously. It's a small way to continue to help us build this channel. We now have thousands of subscribers because of you, so thank you for that. And hit that thumbs up right below the video as well. Good luck this weekend. Make sure you check us out at heartlandcollegesports.com. We will have all the Big 12 coverage and reaction for you. And join our forums if you haven't yet. Great way to interact with fellow Big 12 fans. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Go Big 12.